Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our La Liga career mode here with Sevilla. Back with episode 10 today, already into double digits for this save. I am absolutely loving it. We got loads to crack on with today after we were really inconsistent last time out and we just couldn't get a winning run together, which is what I'm hoping for today. Although we do have some pretty tricky fixtures to start off with. Beginning with this one, returning back home to the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. First game in the Champions League this season at home as we host the French side Lille. It's been a tricky start for us with just 2 points from a possible 9 in our opening 3 games. And I'm desperate to get our first win on the board as we approach the halfway stage of the league phase. Vamos Sevilla. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys may have noticed it or not, but as I was heading into this game, looking at the Champions League phase standings, and Villarreal sat next to us in the league phase, and you might be thinking, well, okay, yeah, they're having a poor season, but of course we finished in 4th last year, and they finished in 5th, and I said that that means they would head into the Europa League. But of course, they've come into this competition alongside ourselves, Barca, Real Madrid, and Atleti. And of course, in real life, 5th place in, oh my god, 5th place in La Liga has resulted in Champions League football. But normally, FC is not smart enough to have coefficients. And it's normally just the standard top 4. So a bit of an interesting little storyline there with Villarreal heading into the Champions League as well. But so far, we look like we're going to be heading out of the Champions League. We fall behind Johan Boni, who was a target of mine in the summer, scores the opening goal, and we're set for 4 games in the league phase without victory. Pedrosa pinches it back. That's really good defending by the Spaniard. And Nemanja finds Romero. Piqué takes the ball in his stride. Brilliant work, and he clips it in off the post. Pick up that ball as we need a win here today. We've not been good enough. We haven't responded to going down an early goal, but that's brilliant by the Spaniard. Piqué beats the defender, I think it's Diakite, no, Kalulu, and drills it in as it kisses the post on its way in. That's a dangerous ball. Oh, Loic Barde, that's fantastic. Now we've got a bit of wind beneath our sails, but we've given it away. Is he onside there? It's off the post. And it will stay in play as Pedrosa's first to get there, but such a big let-off. That could easily have gone a goal down once again there. Oh, well in Sanchez, and space for Amin. Go on, son. Go on. You got those fresh legs off the bench. Amin puts on the afterburners, and they're not catching him. Still Amin, and Piqué should have scored. Romero can't get there. Aymar will keep it alive, and Frendrup's shot is blocked. Well, that's going to do it. It's all over here in Seville. And we had a chance to win it, but Piqué couldn't pick out the corner. It's another draw in the Champions League. And whilst we're not losing many games, we're drawing a hell of a lot this season. Really could have done with the win here in our first home game. And halfway through the league phase, we've got just 3 points on the board from a possible 12. Still some tough fixtures to come. And we've got our work cut out if we are to finish in a playoff place. Don't even think about a top 8 place, but just the playoffs alone is going to be difficult. Right, anyway, jumping into our next game. What we really need at the moment is a nice run of fixtures, and we've not got it as we jump straight out of this game, staying at home but taking on Athletic Bilbao. We've struggled against them historically in the save, and they have caused us multiple issues. And we need to get back to winning ways here. Just too many draws, man. Vamos Sevilla. Oh no, Gibral's just gone down. Oh no. Well, we lost Yasser Asprilla early on in the season. I believe it was match day 1 of the Champions League. It was just a 2-month knock for him. I have a feeling that could potentially be a 7-month ACL for Gibril Sal. The way he's landed, yeah, that does not look good. I think that could be a 7-month injury, and our first in a long time. That's gutting, man. What an awful start to today's game. Yeah, I said how playing in the Champions League is going to mean we get more injuries, you know, more games. Hang on. Aymar through the gap to Piqué. Piqué opens the scoring. more games, more fixture congestion, and we're going to have to use our squad. Asprilla is nearly back from that layoff, but we now know that the vice-captain, Djibril Sow, is going to be down for a long period of time. But thankfully, it's not this man. Our man of the moment, PK, does it again, and we're in front here at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. That's a big goal. Sansei, danger, space for Williams. He's not going to miss that. Oh, Puertas, good hustle. PK to Amin. PK doesn't quite get there, but he will now. PK for 2, hits it straight at Bulka. Yeah, last year we just had that consistency. Consistency with our lineups, consistency with results. You know, we were... Oh, no. Good save, Kepa. We were only playing in the league, so we knew that we had like a week's rest between fixtures. And as I say, we had a little bit more consistency with our lineup. I think I'm still trying to work out my best team as... Oh, thankfully PK gets back up. That's too easy again. Still trying to work out my best team. Still trying to get used to a whole host of new players that have come in over the summer. So we've just got to give it time, man. We're not in a horrendous position. As PK hits the deck again, and this time does stay down. As Kepa bails me out for the 3rd time at the start of this half. But man, PK going down, Sal going down and needing to be stretched off. It's all going wrong for Sevilla. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not going to be too bad of an injury for this man, but because the ball went out of play, we didn't really see how long it took him to get back to his feet, because as I say, the ball went out and then everyone was reset. So we don't know if it's just going to be a bruise or potentially longer. Could be a deadly broken toe, as Gila lets fly and puts it over the top. But I tell you what, this has been a cracking opening 20 minutes to this second half. I think somebody might win this. Aymar slides it forward for PK, carrying a knock, but there is Amin, and he's put it over the top. Williams has it down the left, swings the cross in. Sonse in the middle, heads it just wide, and Bilbao could have won it down the other end. This game has been absolutely nuts, man. Well, no, there's not going to be a winner. There's the whistle, 1 apiece, another draw for Sevilla. I mean, on paper, that is not a terrible result against a strong Bilbao side. And honestly, either team could have won that. But again, it's just that inconsistency of not being able to string wins together. And when you can't get on a good run of form, we've mentioned it so many times on the channel, it's so difficult to string wins together. Another draw for Sevilla and another tricky game up next. We're going to jump straight into it as we travel to the capital, not to take on Real, but to take on Atleti. Vamos, Sevilla. Yeah, well, heading into this game, you probably will have seen the injuries. Djibril Sow, I mean, it could have been worse. It's not an ACL, but it is a 2-month dislocated shoulder. And, of course, PK down for 4 weeks as well. Thankfully, after this game, our fixtures do get slightly easier. Not that there are many easy games in the top flight, but on paper, they do get slightly more comfortable for us. But, yeah, going to be without our most important... I couldn't get that ball through to Aymar. Probably our best player in the team in PK, and also the vice-captain in Djibril Sow. Thankfully, Yasser Asprilla is heading back from injury, which is coming at the right time. Sorloth shoots from the angle and is denied. So, yeah, it's a tricky time for Sevilla at the moment. And I say we've been drawing a lot of games. I'd take a point in this one if we can grind it out. Well, we've defended pretty well today. And what I will say with the injuries is it gives others a chance to step up. You know, Aymar's been waiting for his chance to start in that number 10 role for a while. He's been sort of pigeonholed into the team, quite often out wide or slightly deeper, and he's denied there by Jan Oblak, who makes a good save. But yeah, chance for others to make a bit of a statement, as that's played into the middle, not cleared, and Atleti will eventually hoof it long. But we've defended well in this first 45, and we look as if we'll be heading into the break deadlocked at 0-0. Oh no, Sanchez dispossessed. Sorloth pegs it back. Bardet does well, not once but twice. And we'll get the lucky break as Aymar finds Amin. And Amin back to Aymar. He's been waiting for his chance. Aimar Oroz opens the scoring at the Metropolitano. And he says, Gaffer, PK might be done for the next month, but you've got your man to step in and step up as well. Aimar opens the scoring here against Atleti, and this could be the result that really kickstarts our season. Soloth for Atleti. Away from Barde. Danger. Ball slipped through. Kepa with a big save. And with just a few moments left to play, I think that might do it as Adams releases Asprilla and Yasser back from injury. Asprilla looks to go all the way and puts it over the top, but it's not going to matter anyway. Kepa's save down the other end will ensure we hold on to the points, as that is inches over the top from the Colombian Asprilla on his return. I'm so glad he's back, man. I think we're going to be so much better with him down that right-hand side and a lot more fluid as well. Not a particularly enthralling game, but our first scout against one of the traditional top three in Spain. Atletico Madrid away at the Metropolitano, and Sevilla take all 3 points. That's a huge victory, and as I said when the goal went in, that might be the result that kickstarts our campaign. Jumping straight into our next game, we really need to kickstart our campaign in the Champions League. Match day 5 as we travel to Portugal to take on Benfica. And as I say, we really need to get a move on in this competition and need to get our first win. Vamos, Sevilla. Still deadlocked at 0-0 here into the second half, and it's been tight and cagey. As Romero slides through Pedrosa. Pedrosa in behind. Pedrosa, can he finish? Yes, he can. And he came up clutch many times last year. Now gets his first goal of this campaign, and it has come at the perfect time. I said if we get the win here today, it could really kickstart our campaign. And Pedrosa, an unlikely goal scorer, gives us the lead here in Portugal. Kirchu lets fly. It's off the woodwork, and we can't clear. And now we can through Puertas. Big let off. Bruma swings the cross in. What a ball! Oh, it's wide. Aktoglu with the chance at the back post. And I think that is going to do it. What a chance for Benfica to rescue a point. But Aktoglu couldn't hit the target. And Sevilla escape Portugal with all 3 points. That is a huge result for us in the context of this Champions League phase. I think that should put us in the top 24, which would of course see us qualify for the playoff round. With 3 games left to play and still some tricky games left to come, this was a must-win game for Sevilla, and that is exactly what we've done. Back-to-back wins in all competitions now as well, and as we travel back home to take on Osasuna, a chance to make it 3 in a row for the first time this season and finally get on a winning run. Vamos, Sevilla. Amin has Yasser out wide. Oh, what a pass. Asprilla back from injury. That is what I'm talking about. Yasser Asprilla, first start since the 2-month dislocated shoulder, and back with a bang. The assist from Amin is fantastic, and Yasser couldn't miss, and I'm so glad that we've got him back. Yeah, he really struggled, Asprilla, after coming in January last season, but I'll tell you what, I really think he could be the difference in this team as he's away again. Yasser Asprilla for 2, bends it home, and I might be right in saying so. Yasser Asprilla is proving to be the difference maker, just gives us that balance on that right-hand side. I'm a big fan of his, and I said when we signed him, I think he could do big things for the club. Yeah, I'm not taking anything for granted though, man. We have thrown so many points away this season as Kepa nearly lost that. Oh my goodness. And yeah, dropped so many points. Even 2 goals up, I'm, as I say, not taking anything for granted. But if we make it 3, which we might do here with Amin racing through. Amin for 3. Fantastic finish. And now it is game over. Oh, come on. Let's not throw away the clean sheet. Oh, my goodness, man. Well, I said I wanted it 3 clean sheets in a row. We're not going to get it, but we should claim all 3 points still from here. Oh man, it was too long to try and see it out, but you know what, we'll jump into our next game. I'm pretty sure this one is done, and it's another big one at Villarreal away from home at the Ceramica. Of course, last year it was ourselves and Villarreal competing for top 4 and Champions League football, and in the end, both of us managed to get it. It looks like both of us are going to be up there once again this season. I'm not sure if 5th will get us Champions League, so I'm still going to be aiming for the top 4. Big game away against Villarreal. Vamos Sevilla. 10 minutes to go until the break. It has not been a very good game, but here come Villarreal. Barry to Vissa. Not going to miss. And Jose Perez off the bench finds Vissa. This could be game. This could be game. Vissa, big save by Kepa. Oh, and then Prados dispossessed. It's going to be 2. Kepa in the way again. Recycled and in. And game as well. Villarreal confirm the victory as Yeremy Pino off the bench dinks it over Kepa, who was out of his goal. And it's going to be a huge win for Villarreal as our winning run is ended at 3. Fair play to Villarreal. They probably deserved it. They were the better team. And that second goal really killed it off. Nice little winning run, but a tough place to visit. And, well, that win for Villarreal will put them in a great position for Champions League football. Of course, still a long way to go, and we are well and truly in the mix, but a disappointing result on the road. Right, match day 6 of the Champions League up next. Dynamo Kiev at home, and like the trip to Portugal in the previous game, this is an absolute must-win with a couple of tricky games remaining in January. Vamos Sevilla. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, this has just not been good enough. Still, we remain deadlocked at 0-0 as we approach the hour mark against a Dynamo Kiev side that have not won in the league phase. Just 3 points on the board for them, and we've got ourselves into that. Oh, Morton couldn't hit the target. Got ourselves into that top 24, but if we fail to win here, we might not be staying there. Well, this is it. Diop sends it forward for Puertas, who gets there. Puertas. Can't pick out Romero. Still Puertas. And Frendrup. And Romero. Heavy touch. Oh, Romero. What? No, that's ridiculous. I can't believe that. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. He can't blow up for full time there. Oh, that's match fixing. Match fixing from the officials. I mean, we didn't do enough to win the game. But we've tackled the keeper. We've got a tap in. The ball ends up in the back of the net. And the ref blows up. I can't believe that, man. I need to go and have another look at that. That is outrageous. So we're pushing for the late goal. Ball played into Isaac. He tries to turn his man. Actually gets away. Then takes a heavy touch. The ball is played back to the keeper. Defender leaves it. Romero slides in. Wins the ball. Referee blows up for play here. That is utterly ridiculous. In fact, he blows up there because that's as far as I can move forward. I can't advance any further forward. And Romero puts the ball in the net. I've never seen anything like it. I am in the ear of the official going down the tunnel. That is absolutely insane, man. Yeah, that has to go down as the worst refereeing decision of all time. I can't believe he's blown up there. Right, where does that leave us? Let's have a look. I mean, we are still in the top 24, just. We have to play Liverpool, who I'm hoping are already through. I mean, they are, yeah. They're pretty much guaranteed. Well, not guaranteed, but they're in a great position to finish in the top 8. So I'm hoping they might rotate. And then we've also got Ajax, who are struggling. 35th. That is a must-win game on match day 8. Look at Villarreal as well. 36th and looking as if they're heading out. My goodness, man. I can't believe that. That is the worst refereeing decision of all time. But do you know what? We're just going to have to move on. We weren't good enough in that game. And we've put ourselves in a bit of a hole. We've got 2 games to close out with. And 2 games that I think we should be winning as well. Espanyol up first at home at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. They're having a good season in 8th, but these are the games that we have to win if we're to qualify for the Champions League again next year. Vamos, Sevilla. Yeah, PK back in the lineup today. I'm hoping that will bring us a little bit more goal threat and a little bit more creativity going forward as Amin lets fly and rips in an absolute rocket from range. Well, that is more like it from Sevilla. Couldn't find the breakthrough in 90 minutes against Dynamo Kiev, and Amin Gouiri rips one into the back of the net in the opening 5 minutes. What a fantastic strike. Well, already we've looked better in these opening 15 minutes with PK back in the team. And Pedrosa's back in as well. Amin, they're backing off him again. Amin lets fly and does it again. It's a carbon copy of his opening goal. And the top scorer in La Liga is at it again. Here come Espanyol. This game's by no means done at 2-0. And that's slid through. Gila has to get there and doesn't. And it's a pen. Took a risk going to ground. What colour's the card going to be? It's yellow for Mario Gila. But Roberto will have the chance from the spot. Roberto scores. And Espanyol back in the contest. It was a near perfect first half from Sevilla. But that lapse in concentration at the end of the first half has allowed our visitors back into things. And we've just dropped too many points and given away too many cheap goals from winning positions. But it doesn't look as if it's going to happen here today as Amin Gouiri does it again. Another hat-trick for the Algerian. I think that's his second or maybe even his third of the campaign. Yasser. Oh, a Roz. That's brilliant. Espria. Aymar for 4. Rips it in. And that is a beautiful goal from Sevilla. Well, it's all over at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, and we hit 4 like we did away against Eibar. Amin Gouiri with a hat-trick and Aymar off the bench also getting in on the act. But a much better performance after that pretty drab 0-0 against Dynamo Kiev here in midweek. But we'll close out the episode here, travelling to newly promoted Elche. We got a good win on the road against Eibar, one of the newly promoted sides, and I'm hoping that we can get another here to close out the episode. Vamos, Sevilla. Yeah, like in the last episode where we closed out with that big win away from home against Eibar, I'm hoping for the same here today as Gouiri races away, and on the form that he's in, he was never missing that. We won 4-0 to close out last episode, and I'm hoping we might get a similar result today as we head into the winter break. I want to make sure we go into that break on the back of a big victory, and Amin has got us off to the perfect start. Space for Amin, who's dropped deep. Pepelou's ahead of him. And PK, is Yasser onside? Yes, he is, and he's not going to miss. Yasser Espria makes it 2. And he is having a much better second campaign here at Sevilla. Had that unfortunate injury at the start of the campaign, but that's his 3rd goal since returning from that 2-month layoff. And he's also had a few assists in there as well. Much better from the Colombian. And we do look set for a big victory heading into the winter break. Well, still leading by 2 here. Game's gone a little bit dead in this second half as Kepa makes a pretty comfortable save. But we're just completely in control at the moment. And looking pretty comfortable as PK sends Amin through. Can he get away? He finds PK. Back to Amin. Lovely patient build up, and Amin rifles it in for the 3rd. Elche give it away, and a chance on the break. I'd love to get Amin the hat-trick. There's Suso. Doesn't get much football nowadays. Suso. It's 4. Oh my goodness. I was waiting for the offload to Amin. I was waiting for him, but he didn't make the right run. And in the end, I went, do you know what? Suso deserves a goal. The veteran Spanish winger, a rare appearance for him. But I tell you what, he races away from the defender and he finds the far corner as well. First goal of the season, and in fact, potentially his first goal of the save. I'm not sure if he got one last year, but what a way to close out the episode. Last time we won 4-0 on the road in our final game, and today we have done the exact same thing. Heading into the winter break, that is exactly the sort of result we needed to kickstart our second half of the campaign. I'll catch you for the next episode very soon, guys, where we'll be back with more drama. Big games in the league and the Champions League, and the Copa del Rey will be beginning, where we've been drawn against, I think, rock bottom of the league, Real Oviedo. I'll catch you for it all next episode. Take care and peace.